Man, Max Holloway looked amazing against Dustin Poirier in his last fight. And now nobody can say shit to him because he's beaten Dustin, he's been Jose Aldo twice, Anthony Pettis, Cub Swanson, Jeremy Stevens, Brian Ortega, Calvin Cater, Yair Rodriguez, the Korean Zombie, and then fucking Justin Gaethje at UFC 300, flatline KO in the last second. This man could genuinely beat Ilia Topuria. He's the retirement reaper, man. He fucking puts these guys on losing streaks after he beats them or he retires them. At the time, Justin Gaethje was considered the number one contender for a title shot against Islam Makhachev, but then Max Holloway knocked him out. So now with another win against an elite lightweight, Dustin Poirier, who's not to say he doesn't get the rematch with Ilia Topuria? Even Dana White himself said that Max is in a great position. The move to 155 pounds has been very significant. In 145, he would have what people would call pillow punches because they didn't look really effective. But at 155 pounds, where he's filled out his frame, he has some pop in his shots now. He looks powerful. He looks explosive. And a lot of these lightweights could not deal with that. They're not going to be able to deal with it. Now he's going to have better takedown defense due to his strength increasing, more explosiveness. He's fast. So basically, he's fast, powerful, strong, and he's just filled out at 155 compared to 145, where he was weight drained, and that's where he coincidentally got knocked out by Ilia Topuria. And Max was looking not sloppy, but he was looking recessed against the Korean Zombie at 145, a man on his way out, and he just didn't look like the Max at 155 that we see. I genuinely do think the cut to 145 affected Max so much that at 155 he has a way better chance of winning against Ilia Topuria. And the reason why I say that he's the retirement reaper, even though he doesn't really retire everybody, he only retired really Dustin and the Korean Zombie, is because usually when he fights these guys go on a massive losing streak. Calvin Cater, for example. What is he on a 6-fight, 7-fight losing streak right now? After fighting Max Holloway, yeah, that's who you would call retirement reaper. And look, I was going with Max Holloway to win against Dustin Poirier. I'm gonna tell you why. Go rewatch that second Dustin Poirier fight, and you're gonna see that he was kind of disrespectful, kind of, because he did show respect at some moments. He was weird. He's like a salty winner. He's not a salty loser. He's a sore winner. Look, he spits at Max, and the referee tells him to stop spitting at Max for no reason. Like, why are you spitting at Max Holloway? I know it's during a fight and all, but he treats Islam with respect during the fight, right? And then he Max Holloway's son Rush and his wife ask about Max Holloway, where is he at? And Dustin tells them, oh, he's in the back. He's getting stitched up. You can search up those clips online. He spat and he's talked weirdly about Max during the fight. And Max Holloway took that opportunity at short notice, and it gave Dustin Poirier an opponent to fight for too. It gave Dustin and Max a chance, and still Dustin talks all weirdly and cocky almost, and it's like it left a bad taste in my mouth. I wanted Max to get this one on Dustin so that he wouldn't be 0-3 in two different trilogy fights. He would have been 0-3 against Alexander Volkanovski, although arguably he won the second fight against Alexander, and then he would have been 0-3 against Dustin Poirier. And I don't know why Dustin treated him like shit a little bit. I don't know. It was just so weird rewatching that fight. And look, I love Dustin, but you can't retire and then ruin Max's career because Max still has a whole career ahead of him, maybe like 3 or 4 more years. And you can't just retire and have a little nice retirement on a guy you treated like shit, although he treated you with respect. Yeah, Max had to get this one on Dustin Poirier, and unfortunately, it was Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. Max Holloway retired him. But was it a good back and forth war? Yes, it was. Well, it really wasn't back and forth. Max Holloway dominated 4 rounds, and Poirier had some moments in between those 5 rounds. Arguably, it could have been. Nah, just playing. It couldn't have been 5-0 Max, but it was definitely 4-1. 4-1 Max in favor of Max. But yeah, just go rewatch those Dustin fights. And Matt and Dustin just treats him like almost like there's an undertone of disrespect. Just rewatch those fights. Rewatch them. And people might say, well, why not move to 145 and get a quad trilogy? What would you call it that? Quad trilogy? Well, the fourth match with Alexander Volkanovski. You could definitely beat an Odin weakened version of Alexander Volkanovski. But the thing is, Max is not at his prime at 145 no more. Maybe back then when when he had less muscular body weight to him. But now that he's filled out, he's lean, he's leaner, he's stronger, he's faster, he's more explosive. Let me stop dick riding the man. But better overall at 155 pounds compared to 145. He can't. He can make the cut. He can make the cut, but he shouldn't make the cut. But he would beat Alexander Volkanovski at 155, and definitely too at 145, because Alexander Volkanovski he's weakened because of his age. Although he beat Diego Lopez at UFC 314, and damn, that was an amazing fight. I was standing all 25 minutes of the Alexander versus Diego Lopez fight. I couldn't sit down. I was rooting for Volk. Man, like it was beautiful to see that Alexander Volkanovski coming back at 36 years old to win against what a 32-year-old prospect. Well, he's not really a prospect; he's a contender, a contender. And Diego Lopez has been running for everybody at 145. He was the like almost like a boogeyman. But it was just beautiful to watch Alexander Volkanovski win that belt. Anyways, Max Holloway should not move back down to 145. He should stay at 155 and chase that rematch of Ilya Taporia at 155. Because, as I said, don't mean a dick ride, but stronger, better, faster, more explosive overall. It's like everything about Max at 155. No dick riding is better. Like, he has a different fight style. Like even during the last 10 seconds of Dustin Poirier, if you slow it down, you can see that Dustin Poirier hit him with a clean right hook, which would be his lead hook because he's a southpaw, right on Max's chin. Max's chin is not gone. It's I think it could probably even be better at 155. You know, the knockdown that Dustin Poirier did on him wasn't really that bad, but it's because Dustin Poirier threw a shot and Max weaved under it. Like he has the survival instincts. Go watch the Dustin Poirier knockdown against Max Holloway in the third fight, and you'll see that Max was still there. He was still there. He ducked under a shot that Dustin was throwing as Max was knocked down. And yeah, you could tell it wasn't as bad as it looked. And there's another possibility that everybody else is talking about. It could either be Max Holloway versus Patty Pimlet for the belt. But should Patty Pimlet really be fighting for a BMF belt, the baddest motherfucker belt? I don't think so. The guy was literally on a what he struggled. He couldn't finish a 40 or 39-year-old Tony Ferguson who was on a 6-fight losing streak at the time. He couldn't finish him. So I don't think Patty Pimlet should fight Max Holloway for the BMF title. Now, what does sound like like a really good matchup, is Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Now that's a BMF fight. Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, put that on the main card or something. Co-main, definitely main event. It's definitely main event worthy. But co-main is fine too. You know, underneath maybe Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev rematch. Now that's a good damn fight. You know, they say that the what was it, 10 years ago, that was a fluke. That Charles Oliveira came into the fight with a rib injury or something teared in his stomach, like his esophagus, something like that. But Max Holloway claims that the reports after the fight to show that if he was really injured, that he had nothing. So Max Holloway refutes that's a legit win. Charles Oliveira says that he refutes the claim that it was nothing and he actually did have an injury and that was a fluke. And then Charles Oliveira, even though he got knocked out, sadly, man, Max got knocked. He got knocked out, man. Charles got knocked. He got knocked out, unconscious, man. That was bad. Although he lost June the 27th, he wants to come back around November, December, and Max Holloway says he wants to fight around that time too. So let's get that rematch. Let's see if it was truly a fluke or not. Although Charles needs more time, to be honest, to recover from such a nasty knockout. That's definitely a fight that can happen if Max Holloway doesn't get the immediate title shot at 155. Although he beat two elite contenders right there. To be honest, it'd be justified if he got a shot right now. He doesn't even need to fight Charles. Now, would it be nice? Yes. But let's see 155 Max versus 155 Ilya. It's going to be a damn good fight, regardless. Damn good fight. At the end, these are all amazing athletes. Every boxer, every mixed martial arts fighter is an amazing fighter. Although they not might be the most technically skilled, the toughest guys, the basically the best guys. Even if they aren't, it's an admirable skill trait to basically man up and walk into the ring or the octagon. And I respect all of them. All of them. Respect every fighter, even if he's like the worst fighter. The fact that he even went in there, he had the balls to think about doing this as a living. It's it commands respect. It's definitely respectable for every fighter out there. You know, um, I just genuinely do hope that every mixed martial artist can reach a level of fame that Max Holloway has at least. Conor McGregor, Conor McGregor, he's up there. He's the most rich. He's the richest athlete, right next to Floyd Mayweather. Hopefully every athlete, including myself, can make something like that. But put Jesus first in your life, and that's all you need. You don't need anything else. Even if you don't make that amount of success, Jesus Christ is the answer. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this video does well.